everyone. In this video, I want to talk about simplifying and evaluating composite functions. Here are the two problems that we'll do, and to make sure we don't take ourselves too seriously, let's think about the fun question. If you could have dinner with any living person, who would it be? All right, so in the math section, it's very common that you'll see these composition or composite function questions, at least one or two of them. And I would qualify this as functions part 2. So like the second round of functions that you have in Algebra 2. And so the problems may look like this. You also could be given two functions, but you could be asked to find f of g of a. It's the same thing. So we have this f, and then there's a circle, g of a. So that f of g of a is the same thing as f of g of a. G of a meaning the variable within the function f. So it's sort of like we have a function inside of a function here. And the best way that I can explain this is by saying, okay, the f with this circle with the g of a is the same thing as f of g of a. So if I asked you, what is, say, f of 5? Okay, you would say, okay, f of 5 means the 5 is the a, and then I'm going to put a 5 wherever I see an a. So f of 5 would be 3 times 5 squared minus 3 times 5. You just insert a 5 wherever you see an a. That's evaluating a function. So if that's the case, well, let's do another little practice. What's g of 2? G of 2, this one's easier to do in our heads. 4 times 2 plus 3, which is 8 plus 3, which is 11. Okay, so g of 2 is 11. Now, if I said, what is f, not of 5, what is f of the whole g of a? This whole 4a plus 3. That tells you that instead of g of a, we are going to put in a 4a plus 3. So just like we did, f of 5. Now it's just f of the GA, which is 4a plus 3. So the first step I recommend is just inserting the 4a plus 3 in for the g of a. Okay, now that 4a plus 3 is the new variable instead of the a. So I know it involves an a, but wherever you see an a, and this is where color coding is really helpful, wherever you see an a, we now are going to put the 4a plus 3. So we have 3 parentheses 4a plus 3 squared minus 3 parentheses 4a plus 3. All right, so that green color is meant to show you that we have the same variable twice, and it goes in wherever the a was, because remember that instead of f of a, we now have something different. That something different is the new variable. So I now just need to simplify, and we have something squared. We cannot distribute that 2. Unfortunately, this is the same thing as 3 times 4a plus 3, 4a plus 3, and then minus, this is 12a minus 9. Distribute, that can distribute. So I need to FOIL here. I get 16a squared plus, 12a plus 12a plus 9. I need to subtract the 12a and 9. We will have 3 parentheses 16a squared plus 24a plus 9 minus 12a minus 9. Oh, we're getting there. So then you think, what's 3 times 16? It's 48. a squared plus, and then 24 times 3, think of what is 3 days. 3 days is 72 hours. A plus 27 minus 12a minus 9. And simplify 48a squared. Combine the like terms. These two match. So that's going to be plus 60a. And then these two match. That is going to be plus 18. Okay. So I can leave my answer like that. I could technically factor something out, but I don't really need to. And then in the next one, whoa, there's a 7 instead of the a. So instead of a variable, we have a 7, because this is a totally different process. I'm going to change color here. So remember, this is the same thing as it's not multiplication. I need to remember f of g of 7 is not f times g of 7. Okay, so this is not multiplying. This is composition, once again, f of g of 7. So I better figure out what g of 7 is and insert that. So g of 7 is going to be, what, 2 times 7 minus 1? So it's really saying what's f of 14 minus 1? What's f of, that is 13? And so now I can plug the 13 in as my new variable where the n is. So it's like it's a chain reaction. You do one and then the other. All right, so we have that's equal to 3 times variable, which was n, but now it's 13, equals, and then that's 39 minus 1, which is 38. Final answer. So our two final answers look pretty different from each other. One involves variables and the other is just evaluating a composition or a composite function with a certain number being plugged in. Okay. So try one of each for the practice. And here they are. F of g of x and h of g of negative 4. You can pause the video if you'd like to see the problems before I show the answers. Okay, answers are there. Once again, first problem has x's involved. The second is just evaluating, meaning find the value of a composite function with the variable now being negative 4. A quote as a good reminder, it's fun to have fun. And I'd say it's very necessary to have fun. That's from Dr. Seuss. All right, so I hope this video benefited you in some way. And if you'd like to keep up with more videos, feel free to subscribe. And I'd love to see the answer to your fun question in the comments. Thanks and have a good day.